Hey all, this is Nightmare logging in. Now, we've all seen a case where someone will post, which characters should I rank up, or should I rank down, or should I awaken? And they'll list 5 or 6 characters, or they'll show their roster, and you're supposed to say exactly which one you should awaken or rank up or whatever. Now, the problem is that's really the wrong question. The fact is, there's no one answer. The days where Scarlet Witch was God mode and everybody needed her, that's gone. And even though Star-Lord is needed for Realm of Legends, by a show of hands, how many people here are at the point where they're doing Realm of Legends? That's what I thought, not many. So there's no easy answer here anymore. So there should be a bunch of questions you should be asking before you decide. Now the first question you should ask is what are you playing? For example, are you a arena grinder? Then you may want someone who kills quickly. Are you worried about Lion's War or Lion's Quest? Then you may be looking for characters who have poison immunity or bleed immunity, or particularly poison immunity, or power control, etc., etc. Or regeneration for that matter. Are you doing story mode? Then depending on what act you're on, you may have special needs as well. So that should all be kept in mind when you're trying to decide which characters to awaken or rank up. Now, what questions should you be asking? Let's say for poison protection. I mean, if you want to be protecting yourself against poison, you have your Captain Marvel here. You have your you have a bunch of characters. You have Vision, Ultron. Now, let's say you need bleed protection. Who's good there? Now there's a lot of characters with bleed protection. Obviously, the robots, Vision and Ultron again. If you want both, then you pick one of those two. And also Dormammu, and Dormammu, since he's poison and bleed, has poison and bleed protection now as well. Those 3 are good choices. But there's a lot of unbleed champion people that don't bleed. I mean, yeah, you have your Luke Cages and Colossuses who aren't anything great, but there are other ones as well. I can't think of any off the top of my head, so I'm not going to start naming like crazy. But there are those characters. Now, next question is, are you an aggressive player? If so, you may want someone with power control so you don't keep on triggering the 3rd special. Now, who's the best choices for that? Vision again is actually a good choice. But you also have Dormammu, and probably the best one in my eyes, Magic. Even unawakened, Magic is great for power control. You can keep someone at below this 1st special and keep them there the whole fight, which means that they won't be getting specials off, they won't be killing you. That makes them great for boss killing, and also makes Magic great for defense as well because of her Limbo when she is awakened. She's actually one of the few characters who's good at both, so that should always be on top of the list of people you're considering. Magic. I mean, she technically isn't God mode to most people in offense, but the fact that she's good at offense and defense, yeah, I would put pretty close to God mode if she isn't. Of course, she can do anything. There aren't that many characters who can do anything. Now, the next question, do you want high damage? I mean, obviously Star-Lord hits pretty well here. Thor, even the current Thor hits well. There's a whole bunch of characters that hit well, so that should be kept in mind who you want for that. Now, let's say you have deep wounds. You have deep wounds at a decent level, and you want someone who can bleed heavy, because that will kill people quickly. Then you have your Wolverines, your X-23s, your Black Panthers. There's a whole bunch of them that can do a lot of bleed, lots of stacks. So stacking should be also great and cool, of course, but stacking is where deep wounds really does best. You want as many stacks as possible because those stacks will last longer, and you can get your stacks on top of stacks on top of stacks, and that's great. So that should be kept in mind. Now, regen, because if you're playing Alliance War, or in one point if you're playing Alliance Quest, you probably want someone who can regen, at least one character can regen, so they can keep on healing themselves back, so you don't have to use so many potions and regenerations on them. Now, for regen, Wolverine is arguably, and Ghost Rider are arguably the top ones in that, but you also have X-23. You have a bunch of characters who can regen. I mean, Doctor Strange used to be on that list. Obviously, he's not anymore. Doctor Strange is far, far from that list, and hopefully one day he will be back to normal, but right now his regen kind of, sucks. So no one's getting excited over his regeneration, so let's leave that one out. But those are good regen characters. Now another question. Do you care about prestige? let's say you have two characters, but one has a higher prestige, and we'll put them in the top 5 of prestige, because that's all that matters. Prestige only matters when it comes to your top 5 characters. If you're not your top 5 prestige characters, then it doesn't matter, because that only counts towards the first your top 5. So let's say you want your top prestige characters. If you're gonna be if that character is gonna be put in the top 5, it may pay to pick one over the other, and that should be kept in mind. I mean, also obviously awakening matters in some cases. Now let's get into awaken here, and who you should choose to awaken and who you shouldn't. First thing should be pointed out that not all characters benefit the same from awakening. Now some characters kind of need awakening to be useful, like Scarlet Witch without awakening is, yeah, she does do decent damage, but no one really cares about an unawakened Scarlet Witch. She's relatively useless there. Now, in some cases, awakening will give you special abilities like regen, or protection, or ability to shrug things off. That should be kept in mind. Now, of course, some characters who are very good characters don't gain much at all from awakening. The perfect example of that would be Agent Venom. Yeah, Agent Venom, let me get him out here. Agent Venom gets Clintar, I hope I'm pronouncing that, Clintar Rage when he's awakened, which means that he does decent damage until a certain amount of hits. Yeah, that's a nicety, don't get me wrong, it's a little nice, but I've played him awakened and unawakened. It's not a game changer by any means. So when you're choosing who to awaken, that probably isn't the best choice. I mean, not out of the question, but not the best choice. You should also keep in mind that if you have a lot of awakened characters, your options improve because you could pick almost anybody just to get a little extra. I mean, Agent Venom may be a little more attractive awakened if you have, let's say, 30 or 40 awakened characters already. Might as well add him. But otherwise, a character like that probably doesn't need awakening. Now, another thing to keep in mind is where are you level-wise? Now, if you're up to, let's say, Act 2 or Act 3 story mode, your needs change for ranking up and awakening compared to someone who's playing Realm of Legends. So that should be kept in mind as well. You may not need, let's say if you're playing Act 4 and Act 3 of, particularly Act 4 of the story mode, you may want someone with poison immune or bleed immune may be a lot more important than it was before. Someone who could shrug things off like Agent Venom may be more important. Someone like Crossbones who could shrug things off could be more important. That should be kept in mind also when you're deciding who to rank up and even who to awaken. I mean, as for ranking down, you shouldn't rank anything down unless you're planning on ranking something up first of all, and only while you have, obviously, you can hold off a little bit because until the rank down and rank up, I won't call them crystals, whatever they're called. You still have a little time to decide, so you don't have to rush. I mean, I wouldn't rank anything down unless you really know what you're going to rank them up for and for why you're ranking them up for. Just doing it for the sake of it isn't going to change anything. Now, yes, you could use a summoner advancement to improve your summoner advancement score for your team. And that should be kept in mind, particularly at the end. But if you know you're going to be making a change at some point, just keep that in mind that you may want to hold at least have 1 or 2 of them just in case you want something good. Another thing you may want to consider is basic arena. One question I've seen a bunch of times, should I awaken magic? Now, yes, awakening magic is great. That's actually a character I want to awaken. But you should also keep in mind that she'll be there in 2 months in basic arena. I think May 11th or May 13th or something. I don't remember off the top of my head. But in May, she's gonna be in basic arena, which means you can awaken her there. So it may pay to wait a little bit. I mean, if you have Rogue is good to be awakened, but you may want to wait because Rogue is going to be here in a few days. So I would always be paying attention to the arenas when you decide who to awaken, because that information matters. I mean, if I could save my awakening gems for someone else, that's a good thing. I mean, I don't need to waste it on a magic or a rogue. If they're going to be in basic arena, I can get them that way. Especially now that the arenas have become a lot easier to get the characters. It's much easier to get a character now at, let's say, 2.53 million, as opposed to the 5-6 million that sometimes the top character was worth. So that should be kept in mind. I mean, I would hold off if you have that choice. Now I said that's pretty much it. I mean, those are the things you should be considering. I mean, there's no one answer anymore. There's no Scarlet Witch answer. There's no Star-Lord answer. The God tier, I'm not going to say it doesn't exist anymore. I mean, Star-Lord is still kind of God tier. I mean, Thor may still be God tier. I don't have an awaken. I don't have a Thor at 4 stars, so I can't say 100%. And there may be some characters like a Dr. Voodoo and Hyperion who are on the verge of being a God tier, but God tier isn't what it used to be. There's no must-have characters anymore, other than Star-Lord and Realm of Legends. And if you're not playing that yet, don't worry about it. So that should always be kept in mind. Now, the one last thing is, are you looking for a character for offense or defense with Alliance War? Now, some characters are great in offense. A Star-Lord is a great offensive character, but to be blunt, he's a very, very lousy defensive character. And then you have someone like Rhino, who's great defensive character, but unless you really know how to use him, he's not much of an offensive character. He can be. He can be a very good offensive character, but most people don't play him right, so that should be kept in mind. He's not a top offensive player. And there's a lot of characters like that. So that should be kept in mind when you decide to rank up and rank down and awaken also. But I think that's pretty much it for this discussion. I hope this helps out. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like it, subscribe to my channel, because I promise I'm going to have other good videos in the future. And I hope everything's going okay. And don't be afraid to watch my other videos. I have some other good videos as well. Most recently on Karnak. So if you like this, I wish you everyone the best. And this is Nightmare signing off.